The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build well, live life. Economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, back here with the new Black Wall Street Book Club. And this is what we do. It's our night shift. We want to make sure we take it down with the right kind of thoughts about money in our head. And of course, we're going through the book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, The Richest Man in Babylon. This is the book that changed my financial life. So what I've decided to do was to make sure I present the book to you guys, because I remember when I first heard the book, and when I first heard about it, I immediately went and got it. And so here's the deal, man. Many people ask me, what should I read? And here's what I found. They may want to know, but they don't go and get it. They don't go and read it themselves. So I've decided to start something like this where we'll read together, and you can start to grasp some of this wisdom from books of the ages. This book was written back in 1926, and the principles still stand the test of time. And so the question is, are we going to adjust our lives to the principles, or are we going to keep fighting against the principles themselves? When you fight against the principles, you find yourself broke. When you work the principles, you find yourself wealthy. And you got to make a decision whether you're going to keep fighting the system or you're going to work the system. It's totally up to you, and that depends on where you are. So we're going to talk about the 7 cures to a lean person, the 7 cures to fix broke tonight. Of course, this session is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, Black-owned, manufactured. True Detergent here in the Atlanta area. We're doing free shipping or free delivery in the Atlanta area. 101-ounce bottle for $15. I mean, it's 15 cents per wash. Give us a call, 678-851-2400. That's again, 678-851-2400. True Detergent. Make the switch. Hey, Aaron, what's going on, brother? Anthony, what's going on? Got a scholarship donation, a scholarship drive that's going on as well. So if you find any value in tonight's reading, any value in what you received tonight, I want you to consider making a donation. We did get our first donation, so I'm super excited about that. For every $1 that you donate to the kids, we are going to match it dollar for dollar. And I want to make sure that we walk in as the village, as the crew, that we present the biggest donation to make sure that we can help these kids go to school debt-free, or with as least amount of debt as possible. I mean, it just kind of depends. What's going on, Wendy B? Thanks so much for joining. And then also, we got an ERGJ exclusive coming up. So this is where I'm actually going to take 20 people. That's right. The first 20 people that sign up that is serious about changing their life, you can go ahead and sign up for that as well. What's that going to do? That's going to be an exclusive where me and I also just landed a guy named Mr. Andre Hatchett. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through a guided plan on how you can actually walk away from your job. Secondarily, we're going to help you to develop what we call the exit strategy. So before you leave anything, you got to have a plan. We're going to help you develop your exit strategy, your personal exit strategy. And then we're also going to talk to you about different ways that you can generate multiple streams of income. Because as you walk away, you got to have some type of income coming in to sustain you while you grow whatever it is that you're looking to grow. So if you want to find that out, again, that is exclusive, and that's for Black Wealth Month. We are in Black Wealth Month. We are going to be making history with our money. And so this is I've been coerced to do this, so I'm doing it for the village, but it is an exclusive, and I want a very small, selective amount of people who are serious about changing their life, and that is where you can actually sign up for that. Now, of course, I always believe the early bird gets the worm. So the sooner that you sign up, the cheaper it is. That's just how it is. That's how I operate. Procrastination, you should have to pay, because you keep waiting, and you keep waiting on your life. You keep waiting on your dreams. You keep waiting on your goals, and they keep moving further and further back. You could find yourself going around the same mountain over and over again because you don't act. We must become people of action, and move away from just being people of preaching. I'm tired of preaching. I'm ready to walk. Anyway, I'm ready for some action. Anyway, so here's tonight's book. We're going through again The Richest Man in Babylon. For those that are following, we're on page 44, because many times you guys are like, where are you at? I'm on page 44, and tonight's teaching is the 4th cure. That's right, the 4th cure for a lean purse, the 4th cure for a broke bank account, the 4th cure for a hole in your wallet. And it is this: you want to guard your treasures from loss. You want to protect your treasures from loss. That's right. You want to protect it from loss. So the first cure we talked about on how you can actually start to fatten your wallet, how you can start to increase your savings, how you can actually make your bank account go on swole. And that principle was you wanted to make sure that you paid yourself 10% of all that you earn. A part of all that you earn is yours to keep. So that's the way you got to do that. You got to say, I'm going to be disciplined enough to pay myself first. And that percentage was 10%. If you work for someone, if you are employed, it's 10% of your net. If you are your own employee, you're self-employed, you got your own business, then that's 10% of your gross. The reason why it is because if you work for someone, they already take the taxes and stuff off the top. All right, so you want to pay yourself 10%. You want to pay yourself first. The second cure that you want to make your budget your best friend. Now, many of us haven't even started a budget for 2017. We don't know you want to know where every dollar is going and what the destination for each one of your dollars, and you can actually control where those dollars go by creating a budget. So you want to make your budget your best friend. Now, if you need help with your budget, I do have a service where we provide. It's called Know Your Numbers. We're going to go through a budget. We're going to do a cash flow analysis. I'm going to talk to you about how you can increase your cash flow by understanding your very own budget. And we're also going to do what we call a net worth calculation. It's going to be for you to know how much your economic value is here in society. Once you know your numbers, your eyes begin to wake up. Once you know your numbers, and then you look at your age, you're like, okay, I'm 40 years old, and that's my number. Yeah, it's time to change. You realize something different when you know your numbers. When you realize something different, when you look at things for what they really are, instead of covering it up and acting like it's not there. What's going on? Wendy Brandon is in the building. Crystal, what's going on? Ms. Mendoza, Shay Terrell in the building. The number 3 principle, the number 3 cure for broke, the number 3 fix for your bank account, the number 3 fix for that hole in your wallet. You want to make your goal multiply. You want it to become a person that becomes a lender with the money that you built up instead of a borrower. This is a principle they talk about in church all the time. Matter of fact, they sing it all the time, but they don't necessarily practice it. So we're teaching you the principles to go from being a borrower to a lender. The borrower is slave to the lender. So many of us are slaves to our MasterCard. We're slave to Citibank. We're slave to Discover. Well, we want to be the people that become the bank instead of getting money from the bank. That's right. You want to become the bank. And the way that you become that bank is that you build up your capital, then you loan it out to good causes. You loan it out to that small business owner. You become the Shark Tank for your very own community. Everybody put in the comments below Shark Tank because that sounded good. You want to become the Shark Tank for your very own community. This is how we will build from the grassroots. This is how we'll build from the inside. We become our own bank. That's right. We want to become the bank for your very own community. Now, the 4th cure, what if you get into tonight, you want to guard thy personal treasures from loss. So here we go. Misfortune loves a shining mark. Gold is in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, else it be lost. Now we understand this, right? Many of our kids, and even when we were children, even right now, whenever we got money in our pocket, it burns a hole in it. We just got to spend it. So you want to start to learn how to protect your money from loss. Thus, it is wise that we must first secure small amounts and learn to protect them before the guys entrust us with larger. Now, here's what he's saying, that if you learn these principles before you get the big money, then you would already have built up the character to be able to manage or to be able to steward large amounts of money. You must be faithful in a little before you be entrusted to be faithful with much. Many of us are looking to win the lottery, and that's great. You win the lottery, you'll be broke again because you have not learned how to manage what you do have. So just getting more money is just going to amplify your problems with management. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about personal financial management. Personal financial management. All right. So spoke Arcad. Arcad is the richest man in Babylon upon the 4th day to his class. Every owner of gold is tempted by opportunities. Every owner of gold. So you building up your money. You got the little pipeline, and all these opportunities come by, right? You got your cousin that want to borrow some money. You got these different businesses or these different businesses that want you to invest in them. You get all these opportunities. Now it becomes a little bit more difficult. This is why they say more money, more problems, because it's really, you got more options, more opportunities, and you really have a lot more opportunities for lose. to lose, right? Because I'm not going to approach you if you're broke. And that could be a good or bad investment. But I'm going to approach everybody when they got money. You see what I'm saying? So when you got money, that's why they say more money, more problems. You have more people that's vying or that's trying to capture or trying to get your money. At the end of the day, if you ain't got no money, ain't nobody trying to get no money from you. But if you got money, everybody trying to get money from you. That's just how it goes. So every owner of gold is tempted by opportunities whereby it would seem that they could make larger sums by its investment in some plausible projects. Often friends and relatives are eagerly entering such investment and urge them to follow. The first sound principle of investment is security. Everybody put in the comments below security. The first sound principle of investment is security. Notice he said it's security. He didn't say it's risk. He said the first sound principle is security. How can I secure? Now, here's what Warren Buffett says. He says rule number one of money, of investing, is don't lose money. Rule number two, remember rule number one. Don't lose money. So the first sound principle is security of thy principal. It is wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when thy principal may be lost. I say not. Oh, I'm sorry. He said, is it wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when thy principal may be lost? I say not. The penalty of risk is probable loss. Study carefully before parting with your treasure each assurance that it may be safely reclaimed. Be not misled by thine own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. And here's the principle that I continue to preach. The tortoise beats the hare every time. Many of us are in such a rush to get rich that we'll find ourselves broke because we make bad decisions regarding the risk of putting that money out to try and get these monstrous gains of returns. But he's simply saying here that don't be misled by your own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. The tortoise beats the hare every time. I know y'all ain't gonna like me for saying that. I'm just speaking what it is. I'm just speaking the truth. The tortoise beats the hare every time. Before you loan it to any man, assure yourself of his ability to repay and his reputation for doing so. So here's the deal. Like if someone comes to you and they broke and they got a great idea and they haven't learned how to manage their own money, well, what will make you think that they're going to do something good with your money? Yeah, you got a good idea, my folk, but we ain't going to be able to go that route. At least like, we ain't going to leave it to you to manage it. You know what I'm saying? So so you want to be careful. Before you loan it out, because once you loan it out, you loan some money to your friend before. You know, hey man, I need to borrow $25. Let me get $100, right? You loan that money out, and they say they're gonna pay you back, but then 9 times out of 10, have you seen that money come back to you? Now, if you're a person that loaned that money out to your friend and they paid you back rapidly because paying you back was a priority for them, then now you know that's somebody you can trust. They built a reputation with you that they're willing to pay you back that which you loan. Now, I can get into the whole bunch of stuff, man, because the game is real, right? When we talk about the game, we talk about, you know, you a front man. You front the man, your product, and you expect him to go out and sell it. Let's look at Friday, right? Smokey got fronted product to go out and sell some weed in the community or whatever, but he was smoking a product, and now you got Big Worm or Big Perm, you know what I'm saying? Say, hey, you know what I'm saying, where my money at? And Smoking done smoked it all up, now he in trouble. So he done build up a reputation for being able to repay that which he had a loan on. So he wouldn't be a good person that you want to be like, you don't have that reputation, brother. You like to smoke your product. That's not a good characteristic of someone that I can trust to bring back my money after I'm invested in you. So you want to make sure you get that reputation for doing so that you may not unwittingly be making a present of thy hard-earned treasure. Once you make that loan to someone who hasn't proven that they can actually have your reputation for paying it back, then you might as well say goodbye to that money. That's the deal. So I've always told people I don't loan money out anymore. I just give it. I just give it. Hey, you need some money? Let's not put this obligation. You got to pay me back. If I got it, here you go. Mi casa, su casa, here you go. I don't even want you to pay me back because I'd rather just go forward and don't have that pressure of needing to pay me back when you in hard times. Now, if we doing a business deal together, that's a little bit different. But if I'm just trying to help somebody out, I'm not expecting them to pay me back. All right. So before you entrust it as an investment, again, that's business. If an investment in any field, acquaint thyself with the dangers which it may be set. So before you put your money out, you want to consider the cost. Everybody put in the comments below, consider the cost. Consider the cost. My own first investment was a tragedy to me at the time. The guarded savings of a year I did entrust to a brickmaker named Asmir, who was traveling over the far seas and Tyre, agreed to buy for me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. These we would sell upon his return and divide the profits. The Phoenicians were scoundrels and sold him bits of glass. My treasure was lost. Today my training was shown to me at once the folly of entrusting a brickmaker to buy jewels. So here's the lesson here. Therefore, do I advise thee from the wisdom of my experiences. Be not too confident of thine own wisdom in entrusting thy treasures of possible pitfalls of investments. Better by far to consult. Better by far to consult. There's safety in wise counsel. So here's what he did. He gave his money to a brickmaker to go and make investments in jewels. That didn't make sense, right? A brickmaker, his specialty is in bricks, is in building, is in construction. His specialty isn't being able to determine if this jewel is glass or cubic zirconia or if it's a real diamond. That's not his specialty. But he gave his money to someone who didn't specialize in the area for which he was investing. So you want to think about that, right? You know, if someone's coming to you, here's another example. I had a lady who was a dancer, right? And she was trying to come on to the team and do some stuff. She was a dancer, and she wrote songs and stuff like that. I was like, cool, that's your specialty. But then about 3 months later, she disappeared for about 4 months. And then when she came back, she was like, oh, I signed up for this MLM and we're selling insurance. And I was saying to myself, you a dancer, you a singer. If I signed up to start talking to people about insurance, that would make sense, right? I'm in finance. I teach people about money. So now I'm talking to you guys about insurance. But you're a dancer and you write songs and you are an artist. And now you're trying to jump over into the financial area because you've been presented with an opportunity to invest your time, your talent, and your energy to try and sell insurance when that's not your specialty. Wouldn't it have been more wiser for her to say, instead of investing over here, I'm going to start my own thing where I'm going to teach people dance classes? Wouldn't that have been a better investment of her time, a better investment of her energy, because she specializes in dancing? Something simple like that, where because we aren't, we want to make some money and we see there's opportunity to make money, we don't realize that that's not the opportunity for me. So the lesson from that, and this is what I want you to write in the comments, stay in your lane. That's right. I want you to stay in your lane. You're going to make a lot more money by specializing in your area than you will by trying to jump out of your lane in something you are very unfamiliar with. You're going to specialize. Here's the deal about specialization. If you go to the doctor and you realize you got to get surgery on your leg, right? Whatever happens, something happened, you got to get surgery. You're not going to go to a general doctor to have specialized surgery. You're going to go to the specialist who deals with leg injuries, who deals with prosthetics or whatever, right? You're going to go to the specialist. You're not going to go to the general doctor who just deals with codes and all types of stuff. You're going to go to the specialist because you want the specialist to give you specialized attention. That's why the specialist makes more money than the general doctor. That's why the specialist is the master of one, and he makes more than the jack of all trades. I'll repeat that again. This is why the specialist is a master of one, and he makes more money than the jack of all trades. You want to be a master of one. That doesn't necessarily mean you don't want to have multiple streams of income, but you want to be a master of at least one. Stay in your lane. Stuff getting good. There you go. She should invest in her skills as a dancer. People need to take the time to develop their skills. That's right, Miss Shauna. Shoot, that's my black butterfly right there. That's that new Black Wall Street book club going on. As a matter of fact, if you guys have not checked out Shauna yet, you need to check her out. I post her stuff all the time, man. This is a powerful woman that is changing people's lives. So you make sure you check her out. What book you reading right now, Shauna? Put that in the comments. Let us know. I didn't write the book, but she going through her little thing in the morning. We don't inspire one another. Make sure we stay on task with getting this stuff out to you guys, because this is about the village. It's not about me. I've read this book 20 million times. This is about you guys. And I know some of you guys, you know, you're probably not going to get the book. But that's what I decided. I was going to stop fighting you to go get it and read it yourself. And we're going to read it together. How about that? Any obstacle I can go over, I can go under, I can go through. It don't matter. We're just going to make sure you get it. All right. Such advice is freely given for asking. Okay, so we're talking about wise counsel. Far better to consult the wisdom of those experienced in handling money for profit. Such advice is freely given for the asking and may readily possess a value equal in gold to the sum you consider investing. In truth, such is its actual value if it saved thee from loss. So even if the advice that you get from consulting and getting wise counsel, if the very least it saved you from loss, it was worth the investment. If it saves you from making a dumb decision, and we like to call this stupid tax. How many of you guys have paid some stupid tax? You know, you did something dumb with money and you realized that was just dumb. I remember when I paid my biggest stupid tax was this. I remember when I was in the game and we were going to get some product. Just put it that way. I'll tell y'all my whole testimony another time. I was in the game and we went and got some product. Or we were going to get some product, and the person that I was giving that was going to make the transaction for me, I gave them my front money. And this was a person I didn't really know, but it was my only access to get the product, so I thought. So I was waiting on them to come back with the product, but they never came. And they basically robbed me, okay? But they didn't rob me, I robbed myself, and that was my stupid tax, okay? So we done paid some stupid tax in our life. And the way that you can avoid paying stupid tax is to have safety and wise counsel. People call me all the time, say, hey, I just got a question. And guess what? Ask and you shall receive. See what I'm saying? Ask and you shall receive. Don't be too prideful to ask for help. Don't be too prideful to at least ask. Now, if you ask and they say no, or you ask and they say, I'm too busy, at least you asked. And then you can move on and probably ask someone else who has time for you or something like that. But ask and you shall receive. I don't think I've turned anybody down. And I generally try my best to help as many as I can. All right. So this then is the fourth cure for fixing broke. This then is the fourth cure for your lean purse. This is the fourth cure for a hole in your wallet. This here is the fourth cure for a broke bank account. And of great importance if it prevents your purse from being empty once it becomes well filled. Guard thy treasure from loss by investing only where thy principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where you will not fail to collect a fair rental. Consult with wise men. Consult with wise women. Consult with people who are wise in dealing with money. Is there anybody here tonight who has nobody in your immediate family who is good with money? Maybe it's your whole family, we just all bad with money. But I think every family has at least one person that has done well with their money. Now I got to ask you, now I want you to think about the one person in your family, or the one, maybe they're not in your family. Maybe it's the one person that you know, that you're aware of, that you have connection with some kind of way, who is good with money. And you can see it. You can tell it. You know they're good with money. They give good advice about money. Have you made it to the point where that is your go-to person to ask about money before you go and do something stupid? Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to invest in something. Maybe you want whatever. Have you made it a point to go and ask that person? I do it all the time. I'll be having these ideas. I'm like, man, I want to do something. First thing I think about, well, who should I call before I go act? Who should I call? I get consultation before I make an action, because if you make an action without consultation, then you are being naive, because you know what I'm saying? You're just going off the spirit, right? But it says there's safety. So if you want to be safe in the idea that you have, then you should have someone in your circle, or you need to start at the beginning to create a new circle of people that you can consult with before you go and make actions. All right? You say no one but you, Pamela. Aren't you in Club Millie? I believe you're in Club Millie. That means you just joined a new circle. You just joined new people that you can consult with. That is the power of joining groups. I don't care whether you join Toastmasters. I don't care if you join a sorority, fraternity, whatever it is. That is the power of being in a group and practicing not only group economics, not only your money, but your knowledge, your resources, your connections. See, I believe that you're only 4 people away from who you need to know for your next business deal. You're only 4 people away. So now you just got to start knocking on a few doors. All right. So we want to consult with wise men, consult with wise men. Secure the advice of those experienced in profitable handling of gold. Consider those experienced in handling, in the profitable handling of gold. Let their wisdom protect your treasure from unsafe investments. Let their wisdom, not your wisdom, let their wisdom protect your treasure from unsafe investments. So again, guys, it is all about knowing and understanding first that the tortoise always beats the hare. So don't be in such a rush to try and flip. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the hysteria. That is the adrenaline rush. That is what everybody's going for. But the old sage is sitting back watching you doing all that work. And after all your expenses, after all your fees, you still have made less than the old sage. The old sage made a safe investment. They put their money out into a safe place. It's bringing them back a consistent return. They're just waiting on retirement while you go hustle and bustle trying to manipulate your way to wealth. Wealth is a journey. Wealth building is a marathon. So even in us forming this investment club, even in us coming together with group economics, if you have a short-term philosophy, this is not the group for you. Because we're not trying to build for ourselves. We're trying to build for 3 generations down. That is a long-term philosophy. We might have some quick wins every now and then. Don't get me wrong. We see an opportunity, we're going to pounce on it. But the overall philosophy has got to be 3 generations down. You feel what I'm saying? This is how we change the community. We're not really changing it a whole lot for ourselves. Like Malcolm said, I may not make it with you. You know what I'm saying? We may not make it to the land of flowing of milk and honey. We might be Moses, but we're going to make sure that Joshua continues to lead as he moves forward. Well, here's the deal, guys. This is the new Black Wall Street Book Club. We do this nightly. This is the night shift. This is the thing. See, we're replacing the television with education. We're replacing the radio with insight. We're doing something different because we want to have different results in our life. And you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you tune in with us. And again, if you got some value out of today and you're saying that, hey, I want to make sure that I pay it forward, you have the opportunity to do that. We have a scholarship donation, a drive going on right now. That link is up in the comments above. Let me go ahead and put that. I think I messed up last time. I should have put the link in the comments because people don't look at the thing. So you got a link right here where you can actually make a donation. It don't matter, $1, $5, $2, $10, it don't matter. The donations that you make, we are going to match from ERGJ Enterprises, and we are going to present for these scholarships. We want to be able to make sure we send as many of our little kids, and I'm doing my small little bit, and we want to make sure we provide them the opportunity to go to school with as least amount of debt as possible. Whether it's going to take care of their books, it's going to take care of their travel, take care of their studies, I don't know. But that's what we want to do. And I want to make sure that as I go there, I'm able to present a fat check to this organization. It's actually Delta Psi Phi, it's a sorority, but they're doing a scholarship luncheon. And I go and I try to support that group. And I'm giving you an opportunity to support as well. And also, we have the ERGJ exclusive coming up as well. If you're saying that, hey, I want to learn how I can put a strategy in place to walk away from my job. I want to learn how I can put a strategy in place or develop this exit strategy and also start to develop multiple streams of income to sustain me as I transition out from being under a boss to being a boss, then you want to sign up for that. I'm only taking 20 students. This is my contribution to Black Wealth Month, and this is the month where we make history. We make history with our dollars, and that's what's going to happen this year, and that's what we're doing this month. Anyway, this is ERGJ from your new Black Wall Street Book Club. The Richest Man in Babylon, the book that changed my financial life. I am presenting it to you. Of course, if you like to get this book, you can get it at www.ergj.net. Now remember this, guys. Wealth begins in the mind. You must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. Let's build as we climb together.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.